Well, here we go. We're back again. I've managed to get back from the studio, so I'm going to squeeze in another session this afternoon just for a couple of hours probably and see how we go. We've got quite a bit to do on this. I've done quite a bit already, and there's a bit to go and some adjustments coming, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. On with the versatile framing. I did make myself a cup of tea before I started. So that was one good thing. A couple of biscuits lined up on the side. So we're sort of ready. So I changed this rather than going through the pillar to go around the pillar like this. This is sort of temporary. Not sure. But anyway. And I've corrected what was inside, so we're getting 270 now, which is the maximum the belt can take. And what else have we done? Well, we've been adding these pillars in around, and yeah, so we've been doing all of that. We've also started, yes, raising them a little bit higher we are going to be. And you'll see why in a minute, because here we go, up the ladder. It's a good thing you got parachute, isn't it? And Satisfactory, man. So this is the current height, but what I discovered yesterday, in amongst all my fiddling and getting these pillars done, they're not completed yet, by the way. There is more, which is what we're going to focus on very quickly today. Getting a couple of pillars here on either side of this one done, and this one needs finishing. This one's not finished yet. These three are going to be the height probably that it's going to be at. It may even go up another level yet. We'll have to wait and see. But what's going to happen here is all this, the actual versatile framing stuff, is going to move up one floor. And the reason being is that we actually need to double at our foundries because we only have two currently, and they are producing 120 each, I believe, and we need 480 in total to actually provide enough for these two machines to be working. So it basically means all this here all has to be moved up one floor. So this has to come up to here, and that down there has to come up to here. So that's going to be a bit of a fluff, but it is what it is, and not a lot I can do about it. Oh dear, dear, dear. If only I could have worked that out before I actually did it. It would have been good, but I don't work that way. I sort of fly by the seat of my pants, and here we are. And yes, so we'll just have to work our way through it, but that's all right. It will get sorted. In the meantime, we are chipping away. You notice the figures at the top right. We are up to 4,000 versatile frame now. And we managed to unlock as well. We've put in a thingy sink up here as well. You may have noticed a dimensional depot, and we've actually also unlocked Caterium, which could be very interesting to do a finish with that, depending. And we've unlocked some other bits and bobs as well, I believe, but I'm not. I can't actually remember. What did we do? There was something. Don't think it was under that. Maybe it was just under the... I think it was actually just under customization. And I think we unlocked patterns, some more... yeah, we did the numbers. That was the other thing we did. And we did something else as well. One of these others anyway. I think the arrows. So yeah, we did a few other unlocks as well, just because we'd done 13 tickets already just in that time of dumping smart plates. So it's all good. You know, it's heading in the right direction. The other thing I had to do was extend one of these arms. I think it was this one by another half thing. It was actually the wrong length. It was half a thingy majiggy shorter than the rest. So that required me reconfiguring all of this, shifting it all out by half, and redoing the lift and belt that goes inside that brings in the coal. So we haven't yet finished the outside of that in terms of how that's going to look coming in to the factory. Other than that, we are slowly getting there, slowly, and we've got lights there now, so that's good. So I think that one's pretty much done. We can come on to this one and try and see if we can try and get it finished. We'll see what happens. I don't think we'll get it all done today because we've only got a couple of hours, so it's going to be a bit chaotic. But that's all right. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to do just while we're briefly waiting. I'm just going to sort that out on the phone. Yes. Yes. There we go. Now I can actually see chat. I usually forget, and then it's like, oh, panic stations. But anyway, the other thing we need to do is this fella down the bottom. No, from here. Now, did we put a ladder in? No, we have not. We have not put a ladder in yet. Okay, and it looks like we need more rods. So I'm going to have to steal some rods again from over here. Thank you, sir. Naughty, but these things have to be done. Right. Oh, hello. Now this lift here, there's all these sorts of things that may need tweaking because this one here, you notice, is clashing with that. So we may have to reconfigure this little setup at some point. Yes. So we'll see how we go on that one. Now, okay, so that is finitoed. That's okay. So what I need to do is work out the ladder now. There we go. Does it take us all the way? More than all the way, but that's okay at the moment, I think. We'll, whatever. We'll just go up and be good to there, like the rest. Then we can start plonking these fellas in. But I have to say, here in New Zealand, South Island, it is already definitely winter. The mountains looked beautiful going to the studio this morning. They were stunning with snow back on them. And that was very nice. But not nice temperatures. It was 8 degrees in the studio today when I got there. So that was a bit rough, so I had to stick on the gas heaters to get that warmed up. So while that was warming up for an hour, I went and had a cup of tea at the cafe around the corner, caught up with an old mate of mine, had a yakka for about an hour and planning some stuff. We're trying to see if we can set up, get a community fundraising thingy for one of my sculptures going, so that we can raise some funds for kids and stuff. So we're going to do some bits, but and hopefully it'll cover my expenses as well at the same time on the sculpture, because that's what the goal with it all is, to kill two birds with one stone and benefit everybody in the process. So we'll see how that goes. But it was blimmin' too cold to paint this morning. 8 degrees is too cold. It's got to be above 10 so that the paint doesn't go wacko. So yeah. I remember when I was very young, very young, like half the age I am now, and my first sort of proper studio away from the house, you know, not working in the garage. So sorry, I may end up working in the garage again, by the way field thing's going, but that's a separate thing. But when I was young, when I got this first studio in this derelict market garden, it had a few sort of outbuildings and stuff, and it felt all very cool, except I was breaking the ice off the handles to the studio and in the winters. So yeah, it's kind of crazy place, but those were the days. Yep, those were the days. Okay, so that one does. Okay, so we are just now wiring this up to here. So let me put that on so I can actually see what I'm doing. This needs to come in here and go, I think, there and there. And then we go this one to there, that one to there. We need to stick in these metal beams so I can see where we're actually heading. Okay, so is it that one? I think it's that one. Looks about right. That's not. Move it in one. Yep. 4. Yep. There we go. Now, this one here comes back to here, just inside, and that still means we can get up the ladder. If we put it in the center, we can't get up the ladder. This little thing stops you. Basically, your helmet smashes up against it. Just bonk, and you can't go up. So, even though technically it looks like there's enough space, there isn't. And yes, and these fellas, now that one comes down to here, and we can go from that again to that one, and that should mean all the lights are on that column, which they are. Awesome. So that's 1, 2, 3 done on this one. So okay, I'm going to leave that one exposed for the minute, so I can grab that. Yeah, so I get the settings copied across as I come across it. Oh, maybe I don't need to. No, I won't need to. Okay, let's finish it off. Let's finish it off. Where are we? This one. There we go. Lovely jubbly, as they say. Right. That is, I believe. Have I got? No, I've got to do the steel work going up. That's right. So I knew I'd missed something. I had a niggling in the niggle. We might run into a problem here with this. As I say, I think this has got to shift around a bit. I think we're not quite sure there what's going to happen. We'll have to 5. No, I want 4. You have to watch that sometimes when you're doing stuff going into walls and that. Sometimes it doesn't quite do what you want in terms of length, and you find yourself suddenly okay. Well, that side's okay. That one there is going right through it, right through the middle. Ooh, that's a bad bit of clipping. Oops. Oh well, we'll have to leave it for the moment. It'll be one of those little techie design issues that I'll have to sort out later. Did I put the... No, I did not. Naughty, naughty. There we go. Okay, bring it across again. Right, who's that one? You are right, sir, in the first place. Whoosh. Right, need to go up the next floor. I do like the distance on this. This has worked out really well because you can actually just walk off onto the ladder and walk off the ladder onto the platform without having to worry about it, which is a great benefit. A great benefit. So very happy with that. Good grief, stay there. Thank you. Right. My phone keeps dropping. A player is in the way. It's not any old player, it's me. What are you talking about? It is the Mad Otter! How dare you say a player? No. I have a name, not a number. Yeah. Okay, that one is Donish. So we need to head over this way. Yep. Take a walk on the wild side. Cup of tea? Yes, please. Hydrate. Okay, now here is the next thing. So 1, 2, 2. There we are. There. Now the height, there is a height difference you'll notice, and I'm going to have to do something about it. These are all level, I believe. I believe these are all the same level. It looks, let's see. Yep, that can actually come out. Just go straight into the ground. These are the same level. And then this one here, I think is wrong. And that makes me wonder whether these are as well, because we've got to have them all at the same level, because otherwise when you get to the top, if we end up doing anything at the top or linking them, they're going to look out. And this is something we're having to work our way through. But I've got a feeling with the way this is, if you look at this, you see there's the height there, and that means this is the height where the circular bits should be. So the quadrants. So if we just do that for a second, we're going to have to then do that and delete that. And that means all of this. Yes, I know. Yep. It has to come down a notch. Whap, whap. These are the things I did not think about before I started, and it was something I should have done, was actually probably set up. Because what I did, I set this up first, basically to get the hexagon shape, the star hexagon shape. And what I should have done was just brought down mandatory on the end of each one, a thing to set up all the surrounds. And I didn't, so it's my own fault. Serves me right, basically. Serves me right. Okay. So that is actually the footprint. Those two, not this one. This is too high. So I'm gonna have to do the dirty deed. These are the little things that you come across when you don't plan something properly. And it is my own fault, so naught I can do it about it. As I mentioned in one of my earlier streams, the big wacky coal plant that I did with the 82, I think it was, generators. It took 500 hours. It took 500 hours because halfway through I discovered a mistake in the footing of where it was meant to be positioned. And the pivot point was 50 meters underwater, which didn't help because you can't see underwater in Satisfactory. So there was a few interesting little issues trying to sort that. But anyway, we did get there, but we had to move the whole project across by half a meter. And that meant deleting everything and rebuilding it. As you can imagine, I pretty much burnt out after that build. It took about 6 months or so off, possibly a year actually. But it's how it goes, it's what happens. You have to live with these things, live with these decisions. And like now, I'm just having to rejiggle and just redo the height on this, just so it's in sync with the other, all the ones over this side. And then I'll probably have to do the rest of the ones on this side as well, going around as I go. That's all right. It's okay. It's not too big a cock up. It's a little cock up rather than a big one. One, two, three, and I know you can zoop it, but it's hard to control the zoop at this angle basically, which is why I don't zoop it. And we'll have to climb the ladder to do the rest at the top. It will be way easier right now. So the good thing is the lights don't have to change position. So that's something to remember. This is easy to fix. We can just literally drop it down like that and add that little bit. These, a little bit of a pain, but I might actually... I think that goes to there for the official height. Let's just do, yes it is, it's one down. We are going, nope, yes, correct. So we'll try and undo those like that. Grab that. Now we will zoop these ones like that. This is the same, we can just drop that down to bring that down. The ladder I'll probably redo. Won't take 2 minutes. The lights actually technically do actually have to be redone, thinking about it, because they are set to the line on these fellas. Okay. So we will have to redo them. Oh well. As I say, these things happen. We will need to do that again. We're going to need to redo that because we're going to have to go there and then down, and it's not going to work until I've deleted, so we'll need to do all that and delete all these. Hello. That was a little bit odd, but anyway. Right, so in fact we do need one of these uncovered, don't we? To go back and steal that. Now some of you are probably wondering why. I have kept putting one of these at the bottom of each of the pillars and not just completely and utterly used one and then wired it all around. The reason being is that depending on what we end up doing with the lighting, whether if we stick with this lighting, then it could have been done that way. But if I go the other way where we have a mix of lighting, I can always vary it. So this column could be one color and then the two sides could be another as an example. And I've yet to play with that to see what's going to happen. Because I may go back to that pink and blue mix and try it just for laughs and giggles, like over there through the trees, you can just see. So that's something I've got to play around with, and yeah, we'll do that a bit at some point. Right, back to ladders. Ladder, dear ladder, come towards me. drop down. Thank you very much. That'll do. Let's go to the first level. Boop, there. And we're going to nab the lights. And hopefully this time it will work a bit better. So actually, before I do that, let's bring that. See, that is around now the wrong way. And there will be another one of those in the wrong place. Yes. So what we want to do is bring that down. And I've switched sides on that. It doesn't really matter what side, basically. It's just got to be done. That's all. And then this comes along to here. We can hide it completely in the concrete if we want to at a later date. Just take out one of these and put in another connector, and it will disappear. But for the moment, I'm just dropping it like that because I don't care. No, I do care, but I'm not worried about it right now. That's the thing. I just want to get the factory up and running. Right, okay, let's go back and revisit this. Lights. H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We wire these up. There. 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 To there. Then basically that's done. Pretty much means that close off, but we don't want it because we haven't done the sides yet, so we'll wait for that. Let's go up and do the other, get the other lights in. That didn't take too long in the end to change that around, so my bad. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one to that one. That one to that one. Up we go again. Next level. H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. H. 5. Lights. And another level. Oh, hello. Yeah, we got another one to go eventually. Alright. H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Indeeded, indeeded. Right, 1, 2, 3. 4. Can't see where that is, but it's not too crucial at this point. When we get to do the top and work out the detailing on the top, then we can worry about it. But I think that for the moment is, just wire them up. Yep, thank you. Like that. Bing! There is light. Could you not make a blueprint each tower base floor? Very good question, John. John Thread. Welcome in, by the way. Welcome in. Yes, I could, and in one of my earlier streams, I basically said I could have done this as a blueprint. And as a noob that I am, I didn't. But one of the key reasons, actually, to be honest, it's kind of like because I've only done it on this build, these columns, I'm not overly panicking because they don't take that long to build. And I try not to. On each of my builds, they tend to be fairly unique. So if you haven't seen my work before, this is not complete. This is just a 16 gen coal thing that's not yet to be done. This is the water tower for it, and the piping has to be sorted yet. But I do quite weird, wacky buildings, basically, with some cool lighting and stuff. That flickering is a graphic glitch. I don't know what's going on there. I've tried adjusting various things to sort it, and it hasn't worked so far, so I'm still tweaking of that privately out of stream time to see if I can solve that problem. But I'm not 100% sure it will fix. But you're absolutely right. Yes, I could have done a blueprint, but I tend not to. Other than for things like these leaf patterns, this is a blueprint as an example. Just because that is a hell of a nightmare to build. And I'm doing that on each of my water tower and coal plants. So I've already got another one, little one, finished over here. Which you can see pictures on my Discord or on the thumbnail of some of the other streams. And this one's a bigger version, basically, because the first one was a little 8 coal gen. Because I'm doing random nodes, it's like everything's all over the show. There's no clusters anymore. So it's all just real random. And it's fun, but a lot harder because everything's going to end up on logistics. Basically shipping stuff around. So this is the versatile framing factory in progress. It's got a way to go, but it's just the start basically. And I've realized all these were done at the wrong height as well, just to add to your joy and frustration of watching me build columns individually. So I've got to adjust them all slightly, so which is what I'm in the progress of doing as I come around. So these ones here are all correct. These ones are all in harmony and all the same level. And that can now be capped. And I've just got to do the other 2 towers here now. But you're absolutely right, it could have been done blueprints. I would have saved myself a huge... Well, it's not a huge headache, but it's just it is what it is. But yes, you are absolutely correct, sir. 10 out of 10 for observing the Mad Otter and his errors of his ways. But as you can see, they don't actually take that long to... Oh, wrong place. For your lights, have you used the light control panel? Only the one in game. I haven't got any. This is completely vanilla. It's a vanilla build. All my builds on this, and even the ones I've done in the past, which have all been deleted, the videos of that people knew me for under a different name, were all basically vanilla. The only mod I've ever used in terms for building, which I can't use at the moment on this because it's experimental build, but the only mod I've ever used was Infinite Nudge. And the only reason I used it was to get rid of Z fighting, or to where I had little things that I didn't like. Sometimes, like the differences here, you get a little gap between the ladder and this framework, and over here you don't. And I used to sort all that sort of nonsense that goes on basically in Satisfactory out with Infinite Nudge, just because I'm, well, crazy. But basically, that's in effect what I used to do. But other than that, the actual builds themselves, even the one I did years back that people knew me for, which was my big coal plant, which took 500 hours to build, that the pivot point was 50 meters underwater, and it was still done vanilla. I didn't realize that was the bottom was what I was talking about. Ah, okay. Yep. Yeah. But no, it's all vanilla. I just tend to sort of think a little bit outside of the box if I can. I don't. I've actually never done a box standard factory, and I've done about 6,000 odd hours, if not more, on Satisfactory, and I took about a year, 18 months out because I basically burnt myself out on it, and just waited for 1.2 to get released, and came back very excited because fluids were fixed. So yeah. So basically, yeah, I've just come back recently, and I decided I was so happy when they did the random nodes. I have to say, that was a massive like woohoo, because it's just a game changer, absolute game changer. If you've played Satisfactory for a while and you want to do something different, just random nodes, and because it literally changes the whole thing. Because there aren't clusters anymore of stuff, and they're not where you normally have them, so you literally have to think long term in terms of logistics to get all the materials you're going to need together for certain things. So it's actually very cool. Or you've got to sort of in the meantime, like what I'm doing now, which is building like mini factories. So they're sort of like it just changes everything, and it's very, very cool. I get really excited about it actually because it's just super fun. And of course there are a few little glitchy things that go on. What we will do, we'll just bring one of those out for the moment just so we can get the alignment on these. And then we want to go down to there, I think. Yes. Soup, yep. And up we go. And I still stupidly locked it off before I needed it. Actually, I think I've done that other side wrong. Oh no, has gone correct. That's all right. And then we get rid of these two for the moment while we're working, while we sort out the bits. these up all the way as we go. And the Manta does just miss the edge of this building, which is very nice. Just. Now that has to go to there, to there. Yep. That's that. Then I can bring that one down, and I can put on this. Then I can do the ladder. So we go half a step out. No, that wasn't the right way, that way. Right. That's what I'm playing right now. Yeah, I've tried the game mode 2. That was crazy hard mode. Yeah. Yes, indeed. As you can see by my top right, I've increased it up to 50,000 for phase 2. So normally it would be 2,500 smart plating, 2,500 versatile framing. So I've cranked that up now, so it's 50,000 on each of those, and yeah, it changes everything basically in a good way. Particularly if you've played the game, a lot. And I've started from scratch and not done a creative mode because I've been playing creative mode for 2-3 years now, basically pretty much since they brought it out. I completed the game once and then did just creative mode from there on. So I actually felt one of the things I said when I sort of was coming back was I'm going to do this from scratch and do it the hard way basically, which is effectively what I've been doing. So, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's been really nice coming back to it after a big break, Gonna get myself into trouble. Oh, I don't think I've... Yeah. Player in the way, and if I get out the way, I'm going to fall. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I've grown too attached to fly mode, yeah. It's one of my biggest frustrations, mate, doing these builds, has been not having... Oh, man, if you've watched my other episodes, you'll hear me moaning away. It's just like, give me the hover pack, give me fly mode. So, yeah, it is. When you get used to it, man, it's so hard to go back vanilla and back to the beginning. Just pop that up there for the moment. I don't know which, we might have to re-sort that, but I just want to get up to here. Yes, one of my one of my biggest frustrations. There we go. That can come back out and we can redo that now. Now I know where I'm going. Same on this one. This one hasn't been done. Yes. Dear fly mode, all is forgiven. Please come back. Okay, one more floor. Oh no, that's the roof. We don't do that one at the moment because this is going to be changing. We're coming up with everything's going to be pushed up one more level on certain parts of it. So these ones that are actually doing the versatile framing are both going to be shoved up another floor because I need another 2 foundries down the bottom, basically to get the production up to where I need it for the moment. So that's another work in progress thing, basically. Right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Sweet. Right, okay. Next bit of the puzzle. That little fella. And we need to do that, so we can just get the alignment of these right. There's a strange little thing going on there, I notice. I don't know whether you saw that, but the thing doesn't sit always level with the, see there, it's just raised a fraction. And I don't know why it does it. It's kind of weird. It's I've even noticed on the blueprint when I was making blueprints earlier and doing the one of the other builds I was working on, it wasn't actually sitting them correctly on the vertical mines that I have designed. So I've done these just in case you haven't seen them again, so you know what I'm talking about. This is a low-key one, which is only just 2 units. Because we're limited at the moment for the Mark III belts at 270 items per minute, so I've only got 2 of them operating, but we can actually stack 4 units up as a vertical build, and they can work anything from an impure to a pure mine and produce up to 1200 ingots basically a minute, and these blueprints are when I sit them on top of each other, they don't technically, they sit off by an unusual small amount, and it must be an error glitch at the moment because I've noticed here it's doing the same thing on these foundations, and wherever I got to, somewhere around here, yeah, and you can see it there just sitting up, and it's like it's sitting off the top of this piece, this corner bit, rather than actually sitting off the plate, and I'm not sure which is correct. It's quite odd, but it seems to line up elsewhere, so I'm not too, well, it doesn't there, you see, you can, oh, does it? Might be the angle, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not too worried about it at this moment because it's so minor you don't really notice it on the builds themselves, but it's just a little weird one I've noticed basically. And in fact, I've got that wrong, haven't I? Yes, I have. I've done all that and plonked it in the wrong place because I forgot to drop them. So out we go. Back in. Start again. So we come to there, we go back one, and then we drop one. That's right. That's the correct position. And I've done the same again. My brain has not been in gear today, but hey. I'm an old man, I'm allowed to be forgetful. In fact, while we're there, let's grab that. Nope. What's going on here? That's right. And then the side bits. Very good. We are getting there slowly. Got lighting to do and the steel beamy bits, so that's cool. These and the lights. So yeah. Okay. Grab plate, well plate. Doopy-doo, doopy-doo. Rightio, well, we are slowly getting there. Missing iron again. We are going to need to steal some rods. Thank you very much, sir. We will take you. 4, not 5. Please. Thank you, sir. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope. Put the one back. 3. Come out 2. Come on. I'll just... Actually... No, it does need to come out 2. To do the other beam, going the other way. When we get to that. So we do another one. Comes that way. Goes out 24 meters. We technically do that on both sides. Except I can't see with the thick smoke. Love it. 24, like that. Should be okay. Alright, let's get some of the lighting in if we can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we attach that down here, you actually have to delete that little fella first, and that one, because we have to put in these 2 little fellas, and then this little fella links to there, that little fella to there, that one comes out and goes there, and then goes across to this one, which takes it all back, which means we now have power, and then this one goes up to that light, and that one to that light. And we now have a light. Up next layer. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. H 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Link these up. Link them up. Let's see what happens, eh? Right, now next level. Is that one? 3. Go back 2. And delete the one I'm standing on. Nearly. If you get it wrong, you tumble to the bottom. Yep. Nearly done. Nearly there. Nearly there. Not sure how far up yet we need to go with these, so we'll have to just play it by ear. I'll redo this one afterwards once we know the height properly. Is that right? That doesn't look right. I need another one on the other floor. So that is incorrect. Okay. So I need to go down one floor. Put them in here as well before I wire them up. Thought something didn't look right. Right, now we can wire them. Through to there, that one through to there, that one through to there, that one through to there. Basically what happens at the back there is they stick out with just the power things. I quite like that, it looks quite sort of industrial. Just adds an element, another element of detail on there, which is a bit of fun. Okay, we are getting there. We've got a little, another couple of steel thingies to put in up top. Up here on this level here. And then we will be done on this tower. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. Okay. We've got to sort out the design at the top yet and how we're going to finish them. Not 100% sure yet. As always with my designs, they are like my artworks. I start off with mapping out rough ideas and stuff, and then I change and adapt as I go. I don't have a fixed thing ever, other than a basic idea concept sort of drawing in my head. And yeah, we'll see what happens. As you can see, these need going up, etc, etc, and all this as well. But I'm not going to go worry you too much yet until we get up there onto that floor, to be honest, to sort it all out. I think actually these ones here have to change height anyway. I think these have all been at the wrong, as I said earlier, so now this one here can come down and be covered. This one here can be. I think we're now finitoed on these three for the moment, and that leaves just these three here, which yeah, so all this is at the wrong height again. So we're just going to plonk these in, get the height level, bring them down, delete. And we'll have to do the same with this one. We're going to have to shift it basically, take it down and move it all down 1 meter. These things happen. And I forgot to mention John Fred AD, which another reason why I haven't done the blueprints yet, and I will be, is because all this is actually going to change when I've unlocked everything, because this may be changed to the shiny concrete, and I'll be doing them with perhaps some subtle colour thing going on, and at that point I will blueprint them. So yeah, it will happen. It will happen at some point. Missing AI limiters. No surprise there. Right. Okay, so we're going to need to do our thing again with this. Must remember, drop it down one. But then end up doing it twice. Okay. Four meters. Yep. Oh, pardon me. Was not me, but the picky inside me. Okay. Okay, so that's that. That means that side can now come down. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Cool bananas. What have I done? Made a cock up. Yes, mate. Okay. First level. Let's get these lights in. H. 1, 2, 5. Right. And if we wire those back now to here, we will have light as we go up. Grab that. Missing quick wire. Now, do we have... No, we're going to have to go and collect some. Okay. Okay. Time for a little trip. Hey, Mike. How's it going, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Let me just get into the hypertube and then I will have a look at your comments. Hi Raw, Voxel. Nice to meet you, mate. Welcome in, welcome in. Max sent you. Sounds like the headmaster's office, mate. You've been sent. That's all right, mate. No problem. You're welcome to come and go as you feel free. This is a chill space, mate. What do I need? I need a Caterium, didn't I? I'm just going to go for a little wander around the corner here to get the Caterium. This is all temporary. This is all just garbage to get things rolling at the moment. It's not nothing there permanent. So let's stick that there. Let's get some Caterium quickly going. Yeah. Just so you know, he gets focused on not right on top of chat. Be patient. Yeah, very much. Hello, I'm streaming Satisfactory right now as well. Today's my first stream. Oh, well done, mate. I know you're busy, but consider a quick peek for my new friend here. Yep, yep. I'll go and show him the power plant if you want. We'll go and have a look at that. The little first power plant thing. Let's go and do that. Where am I? Got to find where I am. And then we'll do the Caterium after that, and then we'll go back to the other place, and I'll show you the building properly there. And in the meantime, this is the smart plating factory, which is a work in progress. We do have the 50,000 smart plates actually done, but this is all temporary here. This is all nonsense. This mine here will eventually, along with the copper one around the corner, will feed some tall vertical factories here, which will look like this, and they will feed the basic components effectively into this machine. And that will end up being all illuminated properly and whatnotted. But anyway, that's a work in progress. Work in progress. All this Hypertube stuff is temporary. Everything's pretty much temporary apart from the few little builds I've got started on this map. So we're doing random nodes, just so you know, and we've amped up the space elevator thing. So normally phase 2, as you probably know if you've played Satisfactory before, it's 2,500 smart plating at phase 2, and it's now 50,000 with it amped up. If I'd whacked it up the full way, and I didn't, I went up one notch below the full way, it's 100,000. Which in hindsight possibly I should have done, because it would have given me more build time. But here's the buildings, a couple of the wacky buildings that I've done. So the one on the left is the water tower that feeds the 8 coal gens. So we've got a mine here just coming in. I've yet to put a building around this, a little building. It's coming in, feeding through here, and then feeds that 8 gens and the water tower. And because it's random nodes, I'm sort of putting all little power plants around as I do each thing, and then just keep on building on that basically as a power supply. And then when I get to do nuclear, then that will be totally different, of course. Then we'll just do one big thing. But at this stage, we're doing these little ones, and they're just a bit of fun, you know, a bit crazy. My God, man. Seems like you've made good progress since 1.2 dropped, though. Yeah, I took about a year, 18 months off playing Satisfactory because I'd done about 6,000 hours, and to be honest, I burnt out a bit on it. And then I knew that 1.2 was coming, so I was like, right, okay, I am just going to actually lie low and do other things and play other games and stuff, which is what I did. And when I came back, I deleted all my previous content, rebranded myself basically, and for a number of reasons. And then basically, yeah, just re sort of started from scratch. But I've just I just noticed my construction ladder is still here because the one thing I'm really missing was fly mode and hover packs and things, and so I'm still missing them to do these crazy builds. So let me just delete this while I'm actually here, because this area, there we are. Yeah, whatever. Not dead. Nearly. but not quite. Right, so yeah, so that's the sort of one type of sort of build I do is this sort of type of build where I go very organic and do crazy wacky stuff. And I try and keep in harmony with the landscape. So here on the edge of the red forest, I wanted that, and also these bulbous plant things. So I've tried to touch the color schemes from the area into the build, and it sort of works, I think anyway, in my opinion. The flower petal designs are insanely cool. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I like them. I played around an experiment a couple of years ago with them on a friend's map where he did a multi-session thing, and I never got to finish it. And then blueprints came out, of course, and that was like woohoo moment because then I could basically actually know that I could do the petals in the blueprint and not have to do them all individually by hand, which is what I was doing before. So that's one sort of type of build that I sort of do. Then I go the other way and go very sort of industrial looking. The vertical builds, this mine here is a temporary one in terms of it's only set up for the Mark III belts, which only take 270 units per minute, as you know. So a full pure node mine will have 4 stacks. So it will be 4 of these blueprints basically on top of each other. And they can then produce and process 1200 ingots per minute. All on a 2x4 foundation slab. So it's basically 4 long by 2 wide. And everything gets in there. Works quite well. And then this build, as I say, is very much early days and under construction. So as you can see, all my mines at the moment are just the 2 because it's only coping with the amount that the belts can carry. With this one here, I'm just starting to play around with a bit with the lighting. I've got to introduce some pink lighting in here and try and get that soft mix going on at some point, but it's a work in progress, all of this, because a lot of this, the builds in here are going to be ultimately stripped out and for the basic components, because they're all going to be made in tower factories like this at the back here, and then they're going to feed in. So I've sort of like left it as a work in progress at the minute. We will go back to it. So that gives you a little overview of what I've been up to. Don't want to go up there, I need Caterium. But if you like what you see and you think it's worth a follow, then drop us a follow and then you'll get notified every time I'm doing a new video or some stuff, and you'll get to see the other builds. You'll just hang fire. You can also join the Discord if you want to, if that's your thing. I usually put posts up there, what's going on as well. If my friend here won't admit it, he has a true appreciation in textures and lighting, original stuff. Definitely sub, my style is different, but mad respect for what you're doing here. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I like all different stuff as well. I mean, I'm very open to, I mean, I've still got one map I want to do where I just want to do like a big giant like Tesla factory and basically build an actual normal factory. And the way I want to actually do that is I want to build it from scratch, from the ground, as if it's a real factory. And and sort of like lay the foundation and then basically put in like all the steel beam work and then go like that and actually build it as if it, and I'm going to do that. I think probably not so much as a stream. I may do it as a video and do it as a time lapse and then try and have it so that it's basically, if I can. But the trouble is, for me to do that, I haven't worked out a way I can get a camera to film the whole thing from a fixed position. And it's almost like I'm going to need another person to be on the map and actually just be patient with us doing that as I do it. And that's going to be tricky to do because of time zones and everything else. So that's why I haven't done it yet, because I haven't worked a way out around it. My buddy is doing that now, is doing it in the northeast corner of the map. Oh, nice. Up in the northeast. So that's, oh, desert. Up in the desert. Yeah, it's a good area to do it, just because of the size of it. You keep taunting you with that monster factory builds. Besides the Hewlett unloader building, Ford's River Rouge was the other. He's doing it over the ocean. Oh, okay. Yep. Actually, the ocean's probably a better spot almost for it, if you can, if there's enough build space. Um, because the desert has those big arches going on that can't be blown up, which are a right pain because sometimes they can get in the way, and it's got a few nodules or pillars of rock that come up, so you'd have to set it up quite high. Whereas ocean's probably actually a better place. Yeah, be interesting to. Oh, he's doing a circle. Yeah. Sorry to distract you. Thank you for the brief tour. Oh, no, you're welcome, mate. Gives me a break too. It's all good. Well, this is awesome. Thanks for the tour. I've got to get back to my stream, but I'll inevitably be back. Thank you. Yeah. Happy streaming, mate. Once I get back to YouTube, I'll try and sub back to you as well, and I'll keep an eye out for you. Have a nosy at what you're up to as well, then. I'm still here, just so you know. We're watching you. Thank you, Mac. So after the earthquakes in New Zealand, in Christchurch in 2011-12, I from the post-trauma I became celiac and ended up with chronic fatigue. And my dear wife has made me some gluten-free, dairy-free shortbread, and it's really yummy. Sorry, can't share. But no, it's actually very, very good. Because you know, shortbread needs that sort of buttery taste to it. It's actually got that. It's quite clever. It's got no butter in it. And I thought you were a nice man, not even offering to share that with a guy halfway around the globe. Well, the problem is the Strait of Hormuz is closed, so I can't get the ship through to get it to you. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, damn yummy. Right, back we go. As you'll see on the right of my screen, there's also a little note being added last night, just to add to my complications. Shift rods up will raise entire building by another floor and add 2 new foundries to reach the 480 ingots per minute. So, so some of my buildings are all going to have to move up a floor, which is going to prove a little bit of one of those headaches redoing everything. But hey, here's what is. Boom. I do need to hydrate. Now, where were we? Here, somewhere over here. Yes, we were putting lights in and ran out of juice for the lights. Don't know why I jumped. I don't need to jump off these. I can actually just walk. That one, up to that one, down to that one. Okay. Oh, too far. Sometimes I really wonder. $24. Yep. $24. And that comes out. And then the other thing we need up. Oh, not that. That. Bump. Sort out the bottom once we get down there. That's fine. See, can just walk off. It's awesome. Where are we going? This way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, 4, 5. There you go. Right, back to metal. close, but close enough. And then we'll come along here. 3, 2, 24. Right. Yep. Walk off. Delete. Okay. And I think, yes, that is it for the moment, because we've got to put the other floor in. We'll come back and sort that out after, once we get where we know we're going with the floors. We can just top them up. So from here, let's go down actually. I think we'll go down and this is the wrong height, so that's right, we have to do that. And then we have to come underneath. Take that out. So we've got to lower all this yet. That's one of the things that we've got to sort out. Oh, I've messed up. I didn't realise we were running out of concrete. So I've got to go and get concrete. Anything else I'm short on? Getting short on, oh no, steel's not too bad at the moment. Okay. Okay, let's go get concrete. Oh no. Round you go. Whoosh. One day it'll be sorted. Yeah, no worries at all, mate. You're absolutely fine to invite people in. I got no problem at all. As long as they don't post strings or links basically into the chat, then I'm fine. If that starts happening, it's not really happened up until now, to be honest, and if it does start happening, then I'll probably try and somehow stop that. I'm not sure how, but I'll look it up and work it out. But yeah, but if it becomes a problem, then I'll deal with it. But I'm not too worried at this stage. Two coupons. So, as you can see, I've been slowly getting rid of the containers as well, emptying them as I've been able to. Oh. Are we running out of concrete? Ooh. We are. We are actually officially running out of concrete. Uh-oh. Right, well in that case, where is my little limestone? Is there, isn't it? 10 encased industrial beams, oh my word. We'll just get some a little bit of concrete going, again as a temporary fix. Yeah, we can do it that way. It's fine. Bum 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 bum. That'd be fine. And then we can just literally logistics whip that around to there. Oh, it doesn't like a curve. Okay, it can be straight then. Be like that. Let's just do a little power pole to there, that one across to there. How much power have we got? Oh, we are a bit over. Okay. Always lacking power. That is maximum connections though, so that is all the stuff in there that's not on, basically, ready for the future. So it is slightly inaccurate because, yeah, what we're producing and what we're using is fine at the moment. We're consuming 1700 and we're producing 25, so we're all right for a little bit. We're all right for a little bit. What I'm going to do is set up another. Yes, come on. That way round. I'm just going to set this up here and do a very shoddy temporary like that. Beautiful clipping. We love it. That's all we want. So how much, or 100, 112.5, how much is this producing? 240, fine. Okay. Probably could have had two, set up a splitter and done two of them, to be honest, but I'm not worried. I'll do that off stream. So what did we need? We needed concrete, which we've now got a little bit of. We're up to 400 odd. What I should do, actually, thinking about this. Oh, there's another 500. Awesome. What are we in terms of dimensional depots? So we need 10 of those fellas. What are we short on to get those then? Reenacted Sam. Okay. So we need about 45 reenacted. So where was the Sam? Oh, loads of Sam all around us. Look at it. Oh no, that's Mercer. It's the same colour, but the arrows. I think there's, yes, there is over there. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go for a little ride. Transport. Explorer. Oh, you're kidding me. 5 motors. Where did I put the 5 motors? They are around somewhere. Because I had them. I wondered what I had them in my pocket for, basically. I was like, I don't need those. Now I know. And that's why I had the coal as well. So I had some fuel. Right. Well, actually, we can just dump it here, can't we? Let's just do it out here. And we can quickly go and get that, and then we can do that, and then that will provide us with a little bit of that. Yep, let's do it. Let's go. Bye-bye, sir. Oh man. Yep. Rocky Desert. One of my favourite places. This area is my favourite starting point in the game. Rocky Desert is definitely my favourite. I don't know where I'm going exactly. I know it's roughly over in this end, and I have already been here, but I just can't remember the route to drive it. But that's all right. We'll worm our way through the river if necessary. Oh no, there we go. Yep. No, we're okay. We're okay. Keep it rolling. Here we go. And I think it's over. Yeah, look at that. I've even got blooming little miners on it, knowing. Voices in my head. Me and my friends are all happy in there. Leave us alone. Let that do its thing, and I will check a chat. There's optimum points. Thank you. This guy I found and dropped my jaw with his original precision manners, etc. That's all right, mate. No worries. Unrelated to your build, you mentioned an earthquake there. Yes, we had two major ones back in 2010, 2011, 6 months apart with 5,000 quakes between. It trashed the Christchurch city, and yes, changed our lives pretty much forever, mate. No, you don't want to experience it, mate. I don't wish it on anybody. It's very, very frightening when they're big. The little shakes, you know, where you just get a bit of a rattle go through your house, they're sort of like okay. Although now, because of the post-trauma, they're not okay because it triggers off all this stuff, and you never know. The problem with an earthquake is when it starts, when you first hear the noise, because that's the first thing you hear is actually usually noise, particularly on a big one, and it sounds like a lorry going past your house, that sort of noise. And then when it actually hits your house, it's like a lorry crashing into your house, quite literally. That's the sort of noise it is. And so every time you're walking down the street or doing anything and a lorry passes and you hear that vibration thing, your heart rate goes up. And that's the problem with the post-trauma from it, is that you don't ever get out of pretty much that state of having that constant anxiety from it. What's going on here? Sam, strange alien makeup. Oh, duh! I've stuck it all in here. So yeah, that's the problem with them. And of course, when you get the little ones come through now, it's like, okay, it's only a little one, but the problem is you never know how big it's going to be until it's gone, and that's sort of the problem with it. But the big ones are horrendous, because there's nothing you can do to be safe, to be honest. Um, it's yeah, you just get thrown around like a rag doll. No, there's no warning. Certainly not in the cities. You don't get any warning or anything. And I don't think in the countryside they might with the animals, but you don't really get any real warning. Not that I've seen. I mean, New Zealand gets 14,000 earthquakes every year anyway. I mean, regardless. But most of them are so small you don't feel them. Or you might just think to yourself, "Oh, was that a tremor go through?" You just sort of get a very slight vibration in the house, but if you're living like we are near a road, then it could be just a lorry. So you don't tend to sort of worry about it. Um, but the big ones, yeah, the big ones you got, it's a whole different ball game. The key thing is not to get hit by anything that's flying around while you're flying around, because that's what does the damage, basically. Um, but yeah, no, it's pretty scary stuff, to say the least. I mean, to give you an idea, of a friend of ours in Christchurch, he was right in the epicenter of it, and he had a 12-foot full-size slate bed snooker table, and it went up through his ceiling and turned upside down back in the lounge. Well, not the lounge, but the games room. And some of his kitchen cabinets were 30 meters away, still attached to sections of wall. So you can imagine uh, the force required. The force required to do that is just surreal. So it's yeah, no, it's freaky stuff, freaky, freaky, freaky stuff. So yeah, I ended up with the trauma from it. I ended up with celiac and chronic fatigue. And the amazing thing about New Zealand is, and not in a good way, is they don't recognise chronic fatigue as a serious illness. So you can't get any help whatsoever. So hence I'm stuck not being able to actually do any normal job, and I do my artwork and just hope for the best that someone comes along and buys a piece occasionally to keep us fed and watered. But basically that's the situation in New Zealand. But I'm pretty lucky. I mean, I can still generally do a few things, and I can still paint, which is a huge blessing. And there's other people, like there's a girl in Christchurch that I read about, and she's got chronic fatigue, and she's literally in a bed 24/7, intravenously drip fed, and her parents have to basically be her full-time carers, and they can't get any help because it's not a serious illness apparently. So there's the craziness of the situation basically, but it is what it is, and we just have to work our way around it. Actually, while I'm there, how's the cable doing? I probably need a bit more cable. Let's drop another 200 in of that, and copper piping, let's top that up. Sheets, I mean copper sheets. Really, I had no idea. What's it called? The Ring of Fire? Yeah, I knew about Japan, but well, honestly, halfway around the globe, New Zealand doesn't get much coverage. No, of course not. Yeah, no, understand, mate. Even we're kept in the dark here. We're mushrooms. Keep them in the dark and shovel over them. That's what my dad always says. Face plant into the tree. Love it. Such good positioning. Welcome to my build, where your face will come away with shattered cheekbones and splinters. In Utopia and Kiwi Land forever. Exactly, mate. You got it. Everything's fine. Right, where was I? Ah, you know what I forgot to do, didn't I? Yeah, the whole point of doing that SAML was putting down a depot for the concrete. I am such a dumbass. At this point, it probably doesn't matter. It's only 50 anyway, which is nothing, so it's easier to go back and just collect it once it's stored up a bit. So I'll have to, that's something else I'll have to work with, is unlocking all that. Meanwhile, tell you, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous, mate. If I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. There you go. Right. Actually, tried to get a transfer to your part of the world decades ago with a huge concern called Clyde. Manufactures locomotives and that sort of thing, and a license of the company I worked for. Interesting. Hmm. I mean, to be honest, up until pretty much the earthquakes, New Zealand was a great place. And I mean, we still had 3 month summers back then. Um, we've just gone through 3 years of not even having a summer. We've literally had winter temperatures all year round, with just the odd day here and there that's actually gone up to late 20s. But we used to get consistent, like December the 1st, the northwest winds would start, and then the hot weather would come from Australia, and we would end up with just literally like 2-3 months basically of proper summer, really good blue skies, hot sun, and it'd be, depending where you were in New Zealand, between sort of 25 and 35 degrees. And then you might every few weeks get a thunderstorm rattle through for a day, with a load of rain and stuff, and then it would all be gone again and back to sun again, and we'd be like that for pretty much the summer. Nowadays, it's just like, it's awful. It's just like grey skies all half the summer and low temperatures, like 10, 11 degrees, 14 degrees in the summer. It's just ridiculous. I mean, Wellington right now is underwater. They've just had massive floodings, washed away homes. People have, died and stuff, and it's just been horrendous. The weather down here now, we're seeing massive changes. I mean, this last summer we were seeing literally days fluctuate from 25 degrees to 9 degrees within a 24-hour period. That's when you know things are really buggered. When things get that amount of fluctuation, it's that's not normal. And it's actually quite interesting because I don't know whether you remember a film called, I think it's The Day After Tomorrow, which is like a disaster movie, end of the thing about climate change. And when you went and saw it at the movies, you just came away thinking, oh, yep, that's another disaster movie. When you rented the video back in the day, when you rented videos from your local store, about 3 million years ago, there was actually a extras video on it, which was really cool to watch, which was actually a documentary by two top science guys, ecologists or whatever they are, who effectively were pretty much interviewed and questioned through the making of the film effectively. And and it was very, very interesting because they were asked, is this realistic? And they said, well, obviously it's been Hollywoodized and speeded up because they only got an hour and a half to do the movie. And but they said in terms of what actually happened in the climate changes and the sudden swings of temperature and everything, they said that is 100% accurate. And they said that's exactly what's going to happen. And they said when you start seeing those sudden drastic changes and swings, they said, we've got a very short time left and basically we're buggered. Now, when this film was done, none of that was happening. It was all just theoretical. And of course, for the last few years, 5 years in New Zealand, we've been seeing it very much happening. And it's getting very interesting. So it's going to be fascinating weather-wise what actually goes on and happens and occurs here, because I think we're in for a bit of a rough ride, to be honest, on top of everything else. But it was interesting. But of course you can't see that documentary now, because unless you've actually bought the video DVD from years back and they've got the extra bit. It's quite an old movie now, but yeah, it was interesting. so we've got that. Now we need to do that going up. Ladder. The title seems vaguely familiar and strange. How fiction is often the best predictor. Sorry, rambling. Yeah, no, you're fine, mate. That's what we're here for, a good old ramble. Bit of satisfactory in between. Yeah, no, it was an interesting. I can't even remember who was in it. There was the one where everything was basically freezing over, and it was all going to pot, and basically very, very quickly. And everybody was like, "Oh, I thought global warming meant we were meant to get hotter," and you're like, "Well, yes, on the equator, but the rest of the globe actually does pretty much the opposite, and it gets more rainfall and gets wetter and colder." But yeah, it was quite an interesting movie. At the time, it was very much, oh, yep, good bit of, make believe sort of thing. But then you see the documentary and you're like, oh, okay, it's not. And now we're living it, almost. It's at the point where the scientists basically said we need to be really concerned. It's like, thanks. Yep. Sweet. Get off that. Delete that. That's all sorted. Just need the plate on that one. Right, that's ready for the next floor as well. Then we're going to just need to put in the lighting now, and then we're ready. Okay, so H 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. H 5. Says scientists, now that we have scared you to death, pleasant dreams. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Well, it's not like they haven't been telling us, and I think that's the thing. At the end of the day, we've all been told long enough. But as I've always said to people, at the end of the day, humans are funny creatures. We'll moan and complain about something, but then we aren't actually really prepared to make the change. And I'd mean that right down to the people that are crying out about it, because if you say to, a group of people basically, okay, so you don't want microplastics or plastics in the world as an example. So that basically means getting rid of every single bit of industry across the globe, which means you'd be back to effectively living in the Middle Ages, where you build a mud hut effectively, or a mud home made from straw and mud and clay or and stone or whatever, and wood. And you won't have TV, you won't have a car, you won't have mobile phones, you won't have technology, you won't have computers, you won't have literally everything. Are you prepared to live like that? Oh no. Well, it's like, we'll stop complaining then about microplastics. And it just makes me laugh. It's like, it's the irony of humans, basically. We moan about it, but then aren't prepared to actually live without it. So it's like, wow. Personally, I'd be quite happy living in a flippin' wood and just having a very simple existence. But I know most people would not be happy. Get rid of X, but don't you dare get rid of my smartphone. Yeah, hysterical. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yep, that is exactly it. What's going on here? No empty line connections. That must be empty. There we go. Yeah, that's all working. I was confusing myself. Didn't take much. How are we doing time-wise? 4:23. Okay. So we are not far off from finishing. I have to lower this one down, so all this has to be deleted and lowered. So because I cocked up. Actually, we should have left the bottom ones on just to get the placement area. That's all right. Well, we said the other day, Mac, that we would put these on and see what it looks like, and so far I'm quite liking the look. I've yet to still work out what we're going to do in this sort of middle sections once I've got sorted and rearranged these. All this has got to go up one floor, so it's going to go up again, and then there'll be another two foundries like here. They'll be on this floor, and all this will be shoved up. So I've got to work all that out yet. Haven't worked out the design really in this inner section really, but I am quite liking the look overall of this. We just get a distance shot on it for a second, just so we can see a little bit better. I don't mind that. I'm going to have fun with the lighting, playing around with it. I might even do the pink and the blue and see what it looks like as well. Maybe do the two outer ones like blue and then the middle one in the center doing that pink or something, and see how it merges, and then vice versa. But I'm just intrigued to see, yeah, how the build goes overall in here internally as well. Haven't worked it all out yet, but we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something. So what I was thinking with the colours, let's just try it actually while we're here. Before we go, let's just do a pink, and then is this still? No, I'm going to have to go into it, and then we go blue, and then that one over there needs to go blue. Can I not get under there? No. Okay, be like that. Oh, hang on a minute. Well, we're done. No, this one needs to be... Oh yeah. Let's just try this for a second. So that's quite nice as well, blend. I quite like the blend, and it fits in with this one over here with the organic flower thing. The other option I can go, if I keep with these colours for the sort of industrial buildings, the other sort of mix I could do is this mix. Which one is it? That one, I think. That one, and then with the greeny one that I've got on the rest of it, yellowy green. I don't know what that's going to look like. That's also not too bad. Don't mind that either. I do like it when you get the fusion of the different colours. I must admit, I really like that sort of thing where you're getting little glimpses of one colour and little glimpses of the other, and then fusion between the two. I like the green yellow. Yeah, I do. And it's a point of difference, you know, for each factory to have something. Yeah, we'll just have to play with it, I think, and see where we're at the end. So blue on the sides. All this is going to have to come out. We're going to have to change the height of it all. Pain, eh? Is what is. I'll do all that off stream though another time. Yeah, I think that's going to look quite nice. It's a wonderful build. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully I don't distract much with my ramblings. No, you're fine, Mac. All adds to it. I mean, it's good for other people to see chat going on and stuff happening anyway, and it makes it more interactive for others. Because particularly if someone's watching afterwards, they're not always going to drop a comment in on the video, but they may have questions and might have similar questions to, you know, to yourself and stuff. So it's good. Always happy for chit chat and feedback. Yeah, no, I quite like that. The different colours filtering in and out. It's quite nice. Stick it on here. There. Wrong key. There we go. Blue. And then this one. Blue. 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 Yep, that's all correct. Yeah. That one, of course, hasn't got the lights on at the moment. That's the one we're just about to shift. So there will be more of a green fuse through here. But yeah, I think that's the way to see it a bit better than that is if we go to photo mode. And then let's go to R. We should, yes, we can now move around like a fly mode to see the build. I like that as well, where it's splitting and merging again underneath. Looks quite cool. Might do the same thing with the coal actually. Bring the coal in and do the same around this one, merge it and split it. Gives me ideas for some of the stuff inside as well actually, thinking about it. What would be perhaps cool if I reset up the machines completely, I could possibly even have curves coming around, feeding machines here, feeding machines back out and stuff. So there's always this sort of like curve going on with the movement. That would be really interesting. Maybe that's something I can play with this with. Yeah, it's getting there. Slowly, but it is getting there. We're sort of just feeling our way with it. What seems strange to me is that even though the exterior is cylindrical with the lighting, it appears slightly ribbed, or like a Greek column. Yes. Yeah, it does. It's weird, isn't it, with the reflection? Yeah. And I think it's because it's the rain graphic on it. With the lighting adds to that effect, basically. It is weird. But I kind of like it. Yeah, pretty happy with that so far. Or possibly rust stains, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it is. It's an interesting one. I'm just annoyed that I've set this all at the wrong height. Very frustrating. So this one here is easily fixed because those can just come down like that. So I'm not worried about that having a joint in it like that. Same with this one. That's easy enough fix. That's a straight down. These ones all have to be redone to there. And then here, this one here, we bring down one, and that's the correct height. Everything else can sort of stay, I believe. These are fine because they line up with that. That's all that matters there. Even this isn't too critical, to be honest. The only thing that mattered was the lights have to be at the correct. It's another fascinating build. Thank you so much for sharing. You're welcome. You are welcome. And I think it's quite nice because in terms of, I mean, I like it when other people stream what they're building as well, because you know, ideas get sparked often by watching other people, and sometimes you know, you can have a rough idea in your head and then you see someone else doing something and you think, oh man, if I could manipulate that or do that or use that similar in mine, it would change the build I'm doing into this, and you come up with something unique again, and that's the beauty of it. You know, and a lot of times when you just look at a finished picture of something, it doesn't always explain how something's put together. And sometimes things that look extremely difficult or complex are actually quite simple when you know how. And it's just that knowing how, basically, is the key to it all. The guy that really inspired me to do better with my builds, and I'm actually going to lower that down while we're here, was a guy who a lot of people know because he was like the father of, I call him the father, very funny English guy, basically, who did amazing builds in the early days, was Stin Archie. And great guy, doesn't play Satisfactory anymore, which is kind of sad, but I understand. And I actually haven't seen him post anything live for a long time. He was a genius in his own way. Right, that's ready to go. We just need to put the lighting in now. So what I want to do is nick the lights from there because they should be the right colour. Oh no, the colour won't make any difference. It's the box. Oh well. Nope. Oh nope. Nope. There we go. Yeah, Stan Archer, yeah. If you've not watched his Eden project, watch the video, look him up and go and watch his Eden project. Although his builds are very different from mine, he was the guy that got me first thinking about doing basically doing those vertical builds in the tiniest possible space, which is where I came up with then the 2x4 slab, because where he did that Eden project was so narrow and he'd wedged everything in so carefully. And of course, when you look at the valley of that area which he did it in, I mean, it's huge compared to a 2x4 space. But in normal terms of factory building, it's tiny. And I think it was one of those things where I came along after watching that and I was so inspired by it, and I was like, man, how can I build something so small? It's like in a small space. What's the smallest I can get to? And I started off by a 4x4, and then I sort of went down to a 3x4, and then I got down to a 2x4. Gosh, that was years ago. Remember the Eden build? I'll have to go look and see and find it on YouTube. Yeah, do, mate. It's really well worth doing. It's a gorgeous build. I think it's his best, to be honest. I know when a number of us contacted him and said, "Oh, when are you coming back to do some more?" He just said, "I've done everything I can possibly do on, you know, on Satisfactory." He said, "So I don't really want to return." And I sort of felt sad, but at the same time, I understood, where he was at on it, because yeah, you can burn out on it very easily, particularly when you've put so much dedication into stuff. And bear in mind, blueprints didn't exist back then either. So he was doing everything by hand. And that was a huge amount of manipulation on all the sign work he was doing. And yeah, it was just massive, absolute massive. Why is that one gone blue? Why is that one gone blue? Should be yellow. Thank you. That was weird. Right, I got 15 more minutes and then that will be it for me today. But I was really pleased I managed to get home today and actually do a stream because I wasn't expecting to. I might be around tomorrow, just depends. Again in the afternoon or the morning, I'm not sure. See what happens when I wake up, and whether I'm off to the studio or whether I decide it's too cold. Oh, hello, what's going on here? Ah, that's what's gone wrong. We're still in the wrong mode. Yep. We hadn't deleted. We just built over the top. I wondered why it was all wrong. Let's try that again. I think that's going to prove different height. Yeah, it is. Okay. Sweet. Cool bananas. Let's go up again. Five. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We now have the yellow and green mix again. Yellow and blue, sorry. Or greeny yellow and bluey green mix. And the height is resorted. So that's good. Nice. Sweet bananas. We can sort the finishing off the bits at the top later on once we do those other floors. These ones I need to now realign as well, height-wise. Those are going to be the projects I think probably I might do tonight off stream, get those done. On the topic of your art, Do you use oils, acrylics, or a bit of everything? So, well, that depends. My traditional artwork, which is under my real name, that is oils. That's basically I sort of do Turner-esque type, old master type paintings, landscapes, the odd seascape, and yeah. So those are under my real name, and then those are oils. The other stuff I do is under my other art name, and that is pop art and basically abstract and and sculptures and stuff and all sorts. So, and that's acrylics is my primary medium for that. Although obviously some of the sculptures are, wood and acrylic paint, and then others are steel. Some of the I even do some 3D, get some 3D printed versions of stuff done. So to try and vary the prices out. Last thing, if appropriate, is there a way to see and perhaps purchase your art through the museum gallery? Understood, not want to reveal info on YouTube. Yeah, you can. So the art stuff, put it this way: if you go to www.bobbykurb, BOBBYKURB.com, you will have access to some of my pop art stuff. Not all the abstract work, but it's basically some of the pop art stuff. The website is sort of like a bit of a hodgepodge at the moment in terms of it was being built by an international marketing team for me, and then they decided to basically screw me over. So I pulled the plug on them and fired them. And what it means is I don't know how to alter and change things on the website because it's all basically coding. It's not a drag and drop thing. So at some point in the future, if the strait opens up and everything returns to semi-normal, which I'm not expecting it to, then I may well in a year's time change over to a website that I can actually control and monitor and just move the domain name across to that. And I've got a friend who can probably assist me with that side of it. So, but I've sort of had paid for the stuff up until the end of this next year. So that's why I've held off doing anything about it. But what you can do through that is you can contact us on email through the contact page. And all being well, if it's working correctly still, if they haven't cocked it up before they left, you will be able to get in contact with me, and that means I can send you pictures of the other work with my real name on. Basically, so yeah, there is ways around it. But that's probably the easiest way, is going through that website and flick us an email. And my sort of stuff basically ranges in price from anything from about 3k through to 100k. So it just depends on what size and what it is. Thank you, will do. Yep, no, cool. Look forward to it, mate. And if you don't like what you see, not a problem. I fully get it. Art's a very personal thing. If you flick us an email, though, I can send you some other examples of other stuff as well, so you get a wide variety. Because basically what I did was for 30 years I've been known for my landscape work, and that's what I'm known for. And basically after the earthquakes, I took a few years out of painting them because I just wasn't mentally in the right space with the post trauma to do these peaceful, serene landscapes. So I went off and basically experimented for 18 months, pretty much in my studio when we were back in England for 7 years, and just really sort of played around with the stuff and had a go at doing different things. And then at that point, I basically then it sort of decided it was going to be more fun for me to be creative again and actually not stick in the treadmill of doing just landscape work. So I went off and played with all sorts of different things. I've done things through from soft toy design through to sculptures, stainless steel, mirror polished sculpture, pop art stuff, through to abstractions and all sorts. So, and I had a public gallery exhibition here in New Zealand that was pretty well received. But the problem was that in the end with that, I mean, public galleries are public galleries and stuff, but one of the works got vandalized. One of the big works that got vandalized during that period, and their insurance basically wouldn't pay out other than conservation fees. So it sort of ended up a bit of a nightmare basically, and I ended up losing out on it, which was a real pain. But it's just classic because the galleries here, the public galleries, are controlled by the councils. So you're fighting and banging your head against a brick wall basically when you're dealing with all that rubbish behind the scenes. So that's what I learned through that process. So I will never be walking in a public gallery again. And I've basically told them where they can put themselves basically because they can't run anything, let alone a gallery. Yes, frustrating is not exactly the word, but yes. Yeah. I mean, put it this way, when I first heard it being vandalized, I said, right, fine, can I see the CCTV footage so I can pursue the individual basically, through legal means? And they're like, no, we can't release the CCTV footage only to the police. So I said, fine, I'll contact and file a police report then. So I did. And the police then got in touch with them, and then they said, oh no, we've covered over the CCTV footage. So the police dropped the case. So you can imagine where it went from there. So it was just like, yes, frustrating is not the word, mate. But yes, it is. It's the polite way of saying it. And yes. And then they tried threatening me with defamation because I put out a public post on Facebook about it. And I was like, well, if it was defamation, there would be inaccuracies, and they were like, it just went on and on and on. It was crazy. Yes, yeah, that's what I felt like inside. That's for sure. That is how I felt inside for sure, mate. Yeah, it's just annoying. One of those things. Never mind. It is what it is. And we move on and we try to do the best we can without them, basically. But yeah, no, there's unfortunately the art world, like a lot of businesses, there's a lot of crooks around and a lot of people all the time trying to scam you and stuff, including dealers. I've literally lost so far in my career over a third of a million in artworks and sales through dodgy flipping things. Hi there, Legend. We're just literally wrapping up, mate. I can give you a quick overview if you would like me to, a little tour of what I've been doing. If you would like, I've got 5 more minutes. Otherwise, we've just been chatting. But I'm doing 1.2 and I'm doing random nodes. Let's go back for a second for you. I'm doing random nodes. I'm doing 1.2, and you can see by the top right corner, I've escalated up the space elevator amounts as well. So let me just take a little ride here for you. Oh, no, going the wrong way. So this build is a work in progress. This is the versatile framework that I'm working on. And it's just early days with it at this stage, but all the machines inside, a lot of the machines inside have to be redone and resorted and worked. I just plonked them up to get something going on that, to get the 50,000 underway while I was building it. But they've got to be revamped. But we'll come back to that. And then over here is a little water tower for the 16 gens. This is not finished. This is just a base thing again to get some power going, just to get the whole thing running. And I'll show you the other one that was my first version of that, over yonder. I have to say, if you've played Satisfactory before, mate, and you're doing, you want to make something fresh and new out of it, random nodes is the way to go. It is so chaotic. Logistics is going to be like absolute primary importance in random node maps. Just because it is just literally so mad. And I've only just been really started on this map. Quite literally phase 2. Haven't got anything really properly going yet. That's my smart plating factory, which is not finished. That's underway. But again, was set up just to get the smart plating done, and we'll go off on the other tube, which takes us to the 2 finished buildings that I have, which is the little coal plant to start with, which was basically providing the electricity for the smart plating factory. And then the second one now is added to that to include for the versatile framework, so we've got enough for those 2 factories to run. Because it's random nodes, what I'm having to do is make little cluster powerhouses around the place, rather than doing the old traditional just a large power area. Like in the past, I had an 82 generator coal plant which provided 15,000 megawatts of power. Well, I can't do that anymore unless you're going to ship coal literally all over the map. Because it's so random, because there's no clusters anymore. And these 2 buildings here are the water tower on the left, and the powerhouse on the right. So there you go. Don't know whether he's still here or whether he's gone, but either way, it will be there in the video for those that have jumped in at some point and had a look. Well, it's been fun, my friend. Have a wonderful day, evening, and greatly appreciate your work and friendship. And you, mate. You too. Thank you for joining. And enjoyed our chats too. Yeah. How much power do I have now? I will let you know. So production capacity 2,500 at the moment. The reason why this is higher at the precise moment is because I have this with a lot of units in yet not working, because my ultimate goal is to produce 100 per minute smart plating in this factory when it's done. But I've got to get things unlocked further down the line. I've got to get all the belts unlocked and all that sort of thing. So a lot of these builds at the moment are sort of set up where the build is in progress, the machines inside are temporary, but I'm planning the build for effectively future, so that once I've got everything unlocked, I can then get up to pure nodes, doing the 100,000, 1200 per minute, or etc. etc. And that's what these are set up for. These mines, these vertical mines, they basically are. This is only a 2 setup. The ones for pure nodes with maximum belts are set up with 4, so they go literally 4 high, and then they can produce up. At the moment, we're limited by Mark III belts, which is 270, so I only needed 2 of them to accomplish that. But yeah, it goes from there basically. So that's the goal. That's what we're working on, and yeah, early days, as I say. Got way to go. But I just wanted to do things a little bit different in Satisfactory this time round, because in the past although I've done crazy builds, I've basically, it's been on standard map, and I've been in creative mode for the last 2.5, 3 years. So basically since creative mode came out, I've been in creative mode. And I decided this time with 1.2 I would go back and do it from scratch, vanilla, and basically make it hard for myself, and just to give myself a little bit of a challenge this time. And that's what I'm doing. So we're working on it. This one's going to be decorated up like the other one, with all the leaves and all the bits and bobs eventually. It's just I haven't had time yet to get on with it. But you can sort of see the effect on that water tower again. It's quite cool. Here's one of those mines again, just a 2 again, because that's all that can fit on the belts at the moment. It's the 270. It is what we're pulling in. If I go into actually photo mode, you can do a decoupled view like that, which is better. That gives you an idea of the start of it anyway. It's got a way to go yet. And I've just slapped everything in at the minute just to try and get some stuff going, so that we are getting up to the the versatile framework up here. But eventually it will be sorted. Haven't quite worked out the design yet in the center, away from these pillar pieces. Got to think something up for that. But it will happen eventually. There you go. Well, that is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for having the chats and all those that contributed in. Legend, Mac, and John, was it? Earlier on. And Raw. Yep, appreciate all you guys having a chat and saying hi. Anybody else who's been lurking in the background and flicking in and out, you're welcome to do so. It's always good to see people popping in and just having a nose and stuff, and hopefully you get some inspiration out of it. In the meantime, take care, enjoy. I should be on, tomorrow's either going to be tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. It literally depends in the morning what's happening with me and the studio, with my artwork, and whether I've whether I can drive out to my studio, which is 40 minutes away. So I've just got to check on a number of things, including petrol, and see where we're at and see whether we can get out there. Otherwise, I'll be streaming. When you stream daily, it's New Zealand. I'm in New Zealand, mate. New Zealand time zone. So generally, my streams, because I'm not a professional streamer, I just do it part time as a hobby. I generally, at the moment, are on at least twice a week, and it's usually a Tuesday is normally my main day, Tuesday morning, from about 11 o'clock New Zealand time through to usually 2 o'clock or something, and then I have a late lunch. Sometimes on a Monday, that's a bit hit and miss, and then it's the same on a Thursday, Friday. Again, and sometimes on a Saturday. It's just a bit hit and miss basically on the rest of the weeks, but Tuesday is the most reliant day. But it's all on YouTube, and you're more than welcome to just flick a subscribe thing, and then you'll get notifications when they come up, and you can just watch them in your own time if you can't make it for the lives. But yeah, no, we're all very easygoing. I'm watching from India, Kolkata. Oh, nice. Good day to you, mate. Yeah. I've just been watching actually a reality program thing of a race around the world thing. It's a British thing, and they were going through China and India, and really fascinating, really fascinating. And I have to say, the Indian people and the Chinese were both so hospitable to them. I just couldn't believe it. The hospitality they showed was just mind-blowing to complete strangers. Just absolute brilliant. It's nice to see that there's and it didn't matter where they went through India, they were getting on trains and doing stuff, and people were just like, oh, where are you trying to get to? And then helping them out, showing them, making phone calls, booking up the next set of trains or tickets for them and all sorts. It was amazing. I was yeah, blown away by that. It was just, you would never get that in Britain or in New Zealand. They'd tell you where to go. So hats off to you guys for that, mate. But no, it's all good. Well, I hope everything's all right for you in Calcutta, mate, and anywhere else anybody's watching from. The world's a crazy place at the moment, and we try to have a chill time in here, so enjoy the chill. And if you can, over 6,000 hours, mate. Probably close to 7. I've been playing since it came out, basically. It's my hobby, so yeah, it's been a few years now since it was first released. But yeah, so it's been a little while. Rightio. I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching and contributing, as I say. And stay safe, everyone, and take care. And we will catch you another day. We'll be on tomorrow at some point, whether it's tomorrow morning or afternoon. But we'll catch you then. See you for now.